think when President Trump, when the tax cuts were implemented, he was speaking to middle America. It helped most states. Here in New York, it didn't. It actually, we all paid a little bit more in taxes, or a lot more in taxes this year. But maybe Biden is trying to appeal to the New York base, to the big cities. That really felt a punch this year.
It's interesting. I wonder how many small business owners, farmers, and the like were in that Boone, Iowa audience that said, well, I don't know if I want you to take away that because I was able to buy another tractor, because I was able to expand my business. Exactly. And really, that's the message that the administration has put forth. While we didn't help people in New York City, we did help the fabric of America.
Yeah, they're trying to stumble on a way to talk about running against this gangbusters economy.
I know.
You know what? They're not doing it well because there's no way to describe it other than an alternate system.
Wait a minute. You want to take away the tax cuts when we have a booming economy? It's clearly helped the economy.
You want to take away the corporate tax cuts that have made us competitive internationally, finally, so companies want to stay here and provide the jobs that give people a way of life? It's absurd, but they're trying.
With literally everyone else besides Republicans admitting the obvious with regard to the GOP tax cuts, that they didn't cut taxes for everyone like conservatives promised, it's pretty shocking to see Fox and friends concede that, in fact, taxes have gone up for a sizable portion of the population. And look, Republican misinformation in this realm is nothing new. Economists warned from the outset that the tax cuts wouldn't pay for themselves amid GOP protests, and now, lo and behold, even Republican leaders are conceding that, in fact, they won't pay for themselves. Economists warned from the outset that the tax cuts would lead to stock buybacks and executive salary raises amid GOP protests, and now, lo and behold again, the tax cuts led to exactly that. The fact is that Republicans said whatever they needed to say, even if it flew in the face of economists who correctly warned of the consequences. Also, they can give themselves a tax break. They allowed the deficit, now approaching a record $1 trillion, to explode so they could line their own pockets. I know. Shocking. But more insidious than that, this is all part of some ongoing campaign to discredit the Americanness of big cities around the country. That because there aren't tractors and corn, that New York or LA aren't as American as the rest of the country. And this is aligned with Trump's obsession with his electoral map, where he constantly points to large red swaths of land because colors are very easy for him to understand, ignoring the fact that a staggering 80% of America's population is concentrated in metropolitan regions. Just Los Angeles County has a larger population than 43 individual states in America. Beyond that, America's cities are responsible for our country's dominance in the world. Over the next 15 years, US cities will be responsible for 10% of the world's GDP, and within the United States, the large cities will be responsible for a monstrous 85% of our own GDP. But apparently, because they're not sitting in diners complaining about economic anxiety, somehow they don't count. And look, none of this is to say that cities are more American than rural areas, just like rural areas aren't more American than our cities. And that's the point. No one swath of land, no one state, no one subset of the population in this country should have their Americanness qualified by any other group. It is that very tribalism that the GOP feeds on to keep people scared, be it of immigrants or Democrats or of the poor or whomever. So while we've grown numb to this Republican administration punishing the vast majority of the country that doesn't live in red states, the fact is that Trump using a tax cut to pander to some small subset of the population not only sets a horrific precedent, but serves to divide the country. And Fox and friends, by virtue of being this mindless, fawning entity that defends Trump no matter what, even as a show that shoots in New York, happily throwing New Yorkers under the bus, is only helping to widen that division. So regardless of what Trump and his mouthpieces at Fox will have you think, those who live in red states aren't the only ones who are allowed to lay claim to this country.